Good morning. I'm joined today by Paul DESMARAIS, CEO of SAGARD. Paul, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. I wonder if you might just give us a quick overview of SAGARD, what you're up to, and a bit of basis of the firm, if that's okay.
Absolutely. SAGARD is a firm with 44 billion in AUM. We are entirely private markets focused, middle market focused, across 5 broad strategies: credit, real estate, venture, private equity solutions, and private equity, across North America and Europe.
Superb. Thank you. Now, Paul, I understand some congratulations are in order based on an announcement that you made just before the IPEM conference this week. I wonder if you could please walk us through that partnership, strategic partnership with Unigestion.
Thank you. Thank you. We've had a busy year. Earlier this year, we announced our investment in BEX, a secondaries firm. We then announced a partnership with Baird, a middle market bank in the US, and now most recently this week, our partnership with Unigestion. That is a really transformational acquisition for us because it significantly increases the size of our business in Europe. It will form a core part of our private equity solutions group, which is basically where we bring together our primaries, secondaries, and co-invest businesses. And we're very excited because ultimately we had very strong capabilities in North America, and this brings us a really strong pull in Europe. And I think combined we'll be creating a global leader in private equity solutions, capable of addressing large institutional needs across the middle market private equity landscape.
You've started to answer it, but I wonder if you could just enlighten us a bit on what the partnership will enable you to achieve beyond that geographic expansion.
Yes. And so the business that we acquired 2 years ago in North America is called Performance Equity Management. That had largely a North American footprint, largely in primaries and co-investments. What we were missing was secondaries capabilities and a strong, credible footprint in Europe. And so what this brings us is, one, a much larger team, a set of GP relationships that is totally new to our ecosystem. In fact, there's very little overlap between the two firms' GP relationships. And so that augmented network, I think, is really important. And then it brings a leading franchise in secondaries. You know, the performance of the secondaries teams at Unigestion has been remarkable. And something that we plan on leveraging and scaling meaningfully, because just given the liquidity issues in the private equity market, secondaries plays a really important role in today's market environment, and we're very excited to build that business. It's also very complementary to our credit business in North America, where historically we've done non-sponsor credit. And with this network of GPs, we hope that that will help us build a middle market or lower middle market focused niche lending business around those types of GPs.
And you spoke a bit there about secondaries and credit. I wonder if beyond private equity, which are the asset classes that potentially this partnership will help you to expand on, and I guess which are the market conditions currently are quite favourable for. I wonder if you could run us through some of that.
So when we look at our business at SAGARD, we think about businesses that are scalable and businesses that are non-scalable. In the world of private asset classes, there are areas of investment that are really meant to be small because small is beautiful and it drives great financial returns. So if I think of areas that should remain small, venture, direct private equity, generally smaller funds have better performance. And so where we have strategies in those areas, we're going to remain small. There are areas that are inherently scalable and where actually scale is beneficial to investment returns. Those areas are credit, real estate, and I believe fund of funds and secondaries. And so if you think about where we're going to scale in the years to come, real estate, credit are 2 major areas. Secondaries and fund of funds, another one. But one of the things that this partnership also allows us to take advantage of is a mega theme in our industry, which is the democratization of alternatives. And by having a larger platform with more diversified GP relationships, it allows us to create better products for the wealth sector, which we are hoping to grow in Europe via this acquisition, in the same way that we've built wealth products for the North American market.
Okay, yeah, wealth clearly seems to be a hot topic at the moment. Just going back to expansion and partnerships, how do you balance those two things? Because clearly, on one side, you've got potentially some quite aggressive expansion, but I guess you still want to be thoughtful with the partnerships that you're forming. How do you make those two things meet?
Being thoughtful in those partnerships is extremely important. And again, it's very important when you're entering a partnership to understand like what both parties bring. Firstly, it's a human business. So is there aligned culture? Is there aligned values? And one of the things that got us very excited about Unigestion is that incredible alignment of culture and values. And so from a human element, these things are really important. From a strategic element, when we look to form partnerships or when we look to acquire other GPs, we're really looking at what is our competitive advantage and how is this acquisition going to grow our competitive moat in that area. And so if you look at everything we've done, it kind of builds on itself and it creates a bigger and bigger competitive moat around our business. We are also very active in partnerships for distribution. And so if you look at our Baird partnership, this is really about accessing the wealth market in the United States. If you look at prior partnerships that we've built with Canada Life and with the Bank of Montreal, those were also very focused on distribution and facilitating our fundraisers. And so when we think about our M&A strategy, it's about building capital, sources of capital that are pipes into our business that bring us capital. And then it's about building capabilities that are continuously reinforcing our competitive advantage in what we do.
And you mentioned Baird there. The final question really is about whether do you have a framework for how you sort of look at the sale of a stake potentially in your business or in that acquisition process? And how does that Baird partnership, how does that demonstrate the way in which you operate and the way that you're looking at things from that partnership perspective?
So very similar to the way we operate when we're buying stakes. When we're selling stakes, we're thinking of the same thing. That values and cultural alignment is important. Baird was an ideal partner because, as I mentioned, we're middle market focused. Baird is one of the leading middle market banks in the United States, which actually historically has been a great source of partnership and deal flow for us across our different asset classes. We're also looking for complementary capabilities. Baird is an incredible wealth platform, but historically not a huge presence in alternatives. We have a great alternative platform with a broad set of capabilities that could suit their needs and ultimately need access to wealth channels in the United States where the shelves, if you think of it like a grocery store, the shelves of the wealth sector in the US are increasingly crowded. And so finding partners that can give us shelf space and a preferred shelf space is something that we're very excited about.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it. And congratulations again. Wish you all the best with the partnership.
Thank you. We're excited.
Thank you.